Navigation is a skill that each one of us uses every day of our lives, whether it be getting to work or the 9,700 planes navigating the skies right now. Navigation is essential to our function on Earth. Welcome to Maps 101. Dating back to the 1400s, navigation was enhanced with the creation of a map. A map is defined as a diagrammatic representation of an area of land or sea showing physical features. Hundreds of maps, including topographic maps, chromatic graphs, political maps, and road maps. The list goes on and on.
Launched in 2005, today Google Maps has over 1 billion active users monthly. That being said, more and more people are starting to rely on technology for their navigational skills, unaware of the technological barriers. When technology fails, many of us are unprepared to deal with the situation. According to a study, only 20% of people aged 18 to 30 can read and understand a map. So we set out on a journey to see if this is true.
I know how to use a map, not a compass though. Google Maps. Probably ask people or like try to find a map around. Probably die.
However, unlike the rest, Evan was different. He was determined to learn how to use a map. Chances are you are one of the 4 out of 5 people that do not understand maps if you're watching this video. However, don't worry. After this video, you will be an expert on reading maps just like me. I will talk you through the basics understandings and we'll cover the topics of a legend, scale, coordinate, north points, contour lines, bearings, and the compass. A legend is a tool that can help you link the symbol and the meaning of it to each other so you can... Yet 4 out of 5 18 to 30-year-olds do not know the basics of using a traditional map and compass. Here we have, for example, these symbols, and a parking lot you will find looking for the P, and a lake you would look for the blue color on the map. So now you know how to use a legend, and it is fundamental to read and understand a map.
Contour lines is a tool on a topographic map that helps you understand your surroundings with more detail. Whether this be planning a route or simply just curiosity, contour lines are essential to understanding maps. Contour lines follow points on a map of equal height. This means that for every point that falls on a particular contour line, it is the exact same height. So these lines help us show elevation in the slope of the terrain. Each line dictates a particular change in height, which is dictated on the map. For example, on this map, each contour line represents an increase in 40 feet. That said, to determine the slope of the terrain, it is simple. The closer the contour lines are together, means a faster change in height, whereas contour lines that are spread apart would show that there is a smaller change in surface height. 33 degrees east and 45 degrees north. Have you ever heard of longitude or latitude? Well, chances are you have. They're the starting point for the coordinate system. Latitude is the first part of the coordinate system that measures how far north and south you've gone in relation to the Earth. Starting at the equator, these lines run parallel up and down the Earth's surface to give you a sense of where you are north and south. The equator represents 0 degrees, whereas at the poles, they represent 90 degrees, either north or south. Now, however, this is only one portion of the coordinate system. Latitude also needs its brother, longitude. Longitude is a little different in comparison to latitude. Instead, longitude measures east and west. These lines of longitude start at the North Pole and extend all the way down to the South Pole. However, the very first line, represented as 0 degrees, is in Greenwich, England, also known as the prime meridian. As you move 1 degree either east or west, it represents approximately 110 kilometers change in distance east or west. Now, using these two, longitude and latitude, you can get an exact spot on Earth in which a person or place is at.
Compass is a tool that travelers and hikers will use to navigate, and it is aligned to the huge magnetic field that is around the Earth. The cool thing about the compass is that wherever you are in the world, north will be pointing to the same direction. Using the bearing system, a compass will enable you to know what direction you are traveling towards. You can use this to navigate towards a particular area or point on a map. Without the help of a compass, determining your direction of a travel would be close to impossible.
On a map, scale can
True north is the geographical north, so the top of the Earth. As previously mentioned, longitude lines used for coordinates all converge at true north, being the northernmost point of the Earth. On a map, true north is shown with the arrow pointing in true north's direction. Grid north you will find as the north of the map you're holding, where the grid lines run straight vertically. Magnetic north is the point the compass arrow will point towards, which is generated by solar winds creating a magnetic field and the Earth's rotation. This point is not at the North Pole, and it changes every year. Right now, it is located around Ellesmere Island in Canada.
So scale is something that's also important to understand when you're trying to read a topographical map. The scale provides the relationship between the map and the world that the map is trying to represent. On a map, scale can be represented in 3 different ways, using a visual representation, a ratio, or verbally. Most topographical maps use a combination of these three scales. The most common scale on topographical maps are 1 to 50,000, which means 1 unit on the map represents 50,000 units in real world. So this helps you understand and read the map and give you a perspective on how big the area the map is representing. The bearing system in navigation is a way to reference the direction you're traveling. It is represented by the angle away from north. You can use the bearing system to help you travel to a destination, and can also use triangulation to figure out where you are. Bearings are key to compasses,
This is a major key alert.
as they allow the user to continue on the same course, or they allow the user to set and maintain new headings to reach a particular destination.
Once you know how a compass works, you can use it in connection with the map to get around. Let's confirm where we are. This is our point here, right by this car park. And I'd like to get to this campsite here.
Maps allow us to be more connected with nature as they provide a guidance as to what is around us. Reading and understanding a map is vital to fully grasp the experience of the outdoors. Now that you are aware of the characteristics of a map and compass, it is time for you to go out in the field and practice.